Sony censoring network IDs. What's going on over here? Let's find out. According to The Verge, it says here Sony will now automatically replace offensive PlayStation Network IDs. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Let's see what else they have to say over here. Sony's taking the initiative when it comes to preventing bad behavior and hate speech in PlayStation Network usernames by replacing those offensive IDs with temporary placeholders. Just yesterday, Sony opened the floodgates by allowing PlayStation Network users to change their usernames on console for the first time in history of its online platform, giving PS4 players an opportunity to redefine their identities in both positive and negative ways. Okay, so I guess you weren't able to change your ID, and now you're able to, but I guess there's a caveat, so let's read on. Moving forward, the official PlayStation blog outlines that any PlayStation Network ID that violates the network's terms of service will be censored by a temporary placeholder ID that reads TempXXXX. The X's are replaced by numbers in the actual username. While it may sound like a funny placeholder name, it's a much less severe punishment than what was administered before, since Sony would outright ban players who broke the PlayStation Network's TOS by including racial slurs, profanity, or other prohibited words and phrases in their name. Now, okay, so I get that. I get it. I totally get it, right? With them breaking TOS, you have to abide by the system, and I get it with these names, but this is it looks like a catabolic effect, because if you just ban your customers, you're going to start getting in trouble. I mean, this sounds like a financial move. This sounds like what should be done. And honestly, if you are a game player and you're just messing around, you create some name, I'm not saying that it's right, but if you do, and then, you know, all of a sudden you're gone, then, you know, man, you might get a bad taste in your mouth and go over to another console, right? So by at least giving you a warning or changing it, it definitely seems more fair. And it also seems like, and I'm not saying that you should be using any of the things that you know are prohibited, but I'm just saying it seems more fair, and it seems like you know, it's just a better business model for Sony. I think Sony was losing more. It sounds like Sony was losing a little bit more users than they would like to have from this. So let's finish up this over here. So if your current PSN name isn't to Sony's liking, you'll be given the temporary name and will be asked to change your username to something within the network's guidelines. Similarly, if you're creating a new PSN ID for the first time and choose something offensive, you'll be stuck with the temp ID until you choose another, presumably less offensive name. Also, you can retain the temporary ID at any point, which could also become a trend among certain users in the community. It could definitely become a trend, but the question is the X's are determined by the characters in your name. So what happens? You're just gonna have a bunch of people with the temp XXX. So if there's like I don't know, 1,000 people with 5 characters in the ID that they don't like, it's gonna say temp and then 5 X's. How would you determine who's who? Like, you know, maybe with the profile image, I guess. So that's the only thing that could be a little bit confusing. And finishing it off, it says, after all, aren't all PSN subscriber names really just a number out of millions? Well, that's true. I mean, anything digital is just X's and O's, right? Zeros and ones, right? I should say not X's and O's, zeros and ones. And so that's the digital alphabet. But there it is. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Are you have you ever been struck by this issue? Have you been banned by Sony for a bad user ID name? Or, you know, what do you think? Is this a more of a fair option? I think this is a more of a business option. Let's just cut to the chase. Sony's doing this so that they don't lose. I mean, if you start just banning your customers, that's not good. I mean, you know, sometimes people do stupid things for just jokingly, right? I mean, of course, there's the real serious offenders, but a lot of people, sometimes people just do it for joking reasons. And if you do that for joking reasons, man, and if you get banned, that's not cool, right? You got to get at least a warning, and this is, this is a warning, and this is a way to do it properly, I think. And so there it is. If you like seeing these NewsBite videos, go ahead and hit that center icon right there and subscribe to NewsBite TV. And if you're ready for more NewsBites, go ahead and click on the videos on the left and you can start watching more right now. And if you like this, hit that thumbs up button and share, like, and subscribe. And we'll talk to you soon.